start with, could you please tell us why you and your family decided to enter the whisky world back in 2005?
Well, first and foremost, we were passionate about Scotch whisky as drinkers of the spirit, certainly in terms of our generation. And then combined with this, all our team in France at Rimerès kept being asked, why does a Scottish family own a French vineyard? Where's the Scotch whisky? So that's when we decided to start the independent bottler of Ween's Malts, as you said, 10 years ago in 2005.
What were your connections with the whisky industry at that time?
Well, we really had sort of a couple of main connections. Firstly, in the fields around the family castle, we were growing barley and grain for lots of the leading distillers, so that developed relationships with the industry for us over quite a number of years. And secondly, from it, there was a very strong historical link in that John Haig built his first distillery on family land around the turn of the 19th century, and this has gone on, in fact, to be Diageo's big grain distillery, Cameron Bridge.
In deciding to start a new whisky company, what was the philosophy behind the brand?
Well, we want to do something different. People in marketing will always tell you that you've got to do something different, and through our experiences in the wine industry in France and Australia, we realised that the flavour and the aromas of the spirit were key to what the consumer enjoyed and loved about Scotch whisky. So that was the approach that we decided to take, was to concentrate on these flavours and aromas rather than necessarily getting hung up about the individual distillery names, for example.
Your first release was a single cask. Why did you choose to start here?
Single cask, gosh, that was 10 years ago. We started with single cask because really for passionate whisky lovers that was the obvious place to start, rather than at the other end of the spectrum being blended whisky. There's obviously, it's a bit of a labour of love because you've got to seek out those really exceptional casks that warrant being bottled as a unique barrel of whisky. But it just seemed the obvious place to start. We never really thought that we would start with a blended Scotch. Single cask were really what interested us, I guess.
Moving into blended malts, how did you create the recipes?
Well, we owe Charlie McLean a huge thanks for that. We obviously knew at that stage the brand and what we wanted to do is about flavours and aromas, but Charlie helped us to select those casks from different distilleries to enable us to achieve that. And at the same time, with our knowledge from the wine industry, we realised the power of blending and bringing different casks, different wood types from different distilleries to create that continuous product under a certain flavour and aroma. So it was really, I suppose, Charlie McLean and our knowledge of the wine industry and blending that allowed us to do this.
And Lord Elcho blended Scotch is a favourite with the French market. What's the story behind the whisky?
Well, there is a link between Lord Elcho and France, as I'll come on to in a minute. But so Lord Elcho is the noble title always given to the eldest son of the Earl of Wemyss. And this Lord Elcho, whose image is on the front of the label, he led Bonnie Prince Charlie's army in 1745, when it was the last time the Scots tried to divorce themselves from the English. Like a year ago, it wasn't a particularly successful mission, and then Lord Elcho ended up being sent to France, exiled to France for the rest of his life. So he never came home to enjoy his family castle or all the lands. So unfortunately, he picked the wrong side, really.
Why in your 5th year did you introduce a London dry gin into your portfolio?
Well, two reasons. A, Geraldine Coates, who's the UK expert on gin, she's written a number of books about gin, lived next door to me. So we always used to share a gin and tonic after a long evening. And secondly, and as a category, it's got a lot of the depth that Scotch whisky has with the different possible combinations of botanicals, the way it can be distilled, and again, rather like Scotch whisky, we just got interested in it and interested in those difficult possible combinations with different tonics, and decided to go for it and create a gin.
And to conclude with, now that Kingsbarns Distillery is celebrating a year of production, what does the future hold?
Well, we hope a Kingsbarns single malt at some stage in the future that'll be light, fruity, representative of that lowland style malt that we have at the moment. And certainly we've had lots of plaudits for our new make spirit, that's new spirit without any barrel aging, that we've released in little 20 cl bottles, and we've been thrilled with all the experts' review of the spirit. And then also just a month ago we launched a Founders Club, which is open to 3,000 whisky lovers worldwide. And as part of joining the Founders Club, they will get the first single malt ever to come out of the distillery, as well as a number of other exclusive bottlings. So there's lots going on in the background. There may not be a single malt product in the market, but there's lots going on in terms of what we're doing at the distillery, hopefully to create one of Scotland's great single malts into the future.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Emma. Cheers. Slange.